All right, it is 6:30 on January 26th. This is a special select board meeting and I will call it to order now. We do have a couple of additions to the agenda. One is a discussion on offering a letter of support for the Brook Store LLC here in Vernon. They are tied up in the wonderful world of Act 250, and seeing as how they are the only place in town, I think it warrants a discussion. And Dana is joining us this evening, so unless anybody objects, if we could put that in as number one, I know she's got to get back to her kids and regular life. Also, we have a request to use the town office property. I do have a letter that we can read shortly and a discussion on the select board update that was emailed out earlier. I do apologize for that coming out so late, but quick discussion on that. Those are the three that I have.
So moved. Did you get that?
Discuss the sand, Tim, Chris?
I'm really reluctant to do that until we have that contract. I don't want to, it seems like we keep going in circles. I'm happy to discuss it, but I'm not sure that I would be prepared to make any decisions this evening.
Okay.
But sure, let's discuss that. So that's 4. Will you still make that motion, Jean?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Oh, yeah.
All
Aye.
Oh, I forgot the roll call thing, but I think we got it for that one. So moving on, the approval of regular meeting minutes from January 19th.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the minutes from the regular select board meeting, January 19th, as written. I didn't have anything.
I didn't see anything. Did I hear a second?
Correct.
Michael Root for the second. All those in favor, please say aye. Sandy,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Jean,
Aye.
Chris is an aye. Next, we will move on to the discussion for the Brook letter of support. We are joined by Dana, who is co-owner of the establishment, and there has been some information that's been emailed around. Ultimately, the Act 250 is saying that they are in the floodplain, and they can either move their building, close it down, or raise it up 2 feet. So there was a letter of support that Wendy helped us draft up, given the information that she's received. And we would just be looking to discuss that and potentially vote on supporting that and signing. Has everybody had a chance to see that?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we submit and sign a letter of support for Brook LLC.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Mr. Root. All those in favor, please say aye. Sandy,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Jean,
Aye.
and Chris is an aye. Dana, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you being here. In case we had any questions, you're all set. We'll get that written up and signed for you. As soon as it's printed, I will stop by and sign that.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Yep, bye-bye. You too, bye-bye.
So we do have like a town letterhead that I think it would be nice to have it on that.
Yep, absolutely. If anybody, yourself or Tim, if you have that readily available, could we get that over to Wendy? I know that she was having problems finding one the other day.
I think I can find one. It's not really the cleanest, but I'll give you the cleanest copy I have.
Okay, thank you. Next, we are going to discuss the final approval of the 21-22 budget. Wendy, do you have anything to throw at us here or anything that we should be thinking of?
There haven't been any changes made since you last looked at the budget.
Sandy, any thoughts, discussion?
It looks good then.
Yeah, agreed. Jean or Michael, anything?
No, the things that we asked to change got changed, so it's all reflected in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody care to make a motion?
I move that we accept the final budget as printed.
Second,
Moved and seconded by Ms. Carr. All those in favor say aye. Sandy?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Jean?
aye.
Chris is an aye. We are joined tonight by our town clerk for the consideration of warning and schedule for the town meeting. Tim, the floor is yours.
I'm going to defer to Wendy for half a second first, as she has her finger up.
Yes, I'm sorry. Mr. Chair, you were going to look at the capital budget at the same time you looked at the regular budget, the operating budget.
Yep, my apologies. I thought that that was a separate line on here. That is a complete oversight on mine. And we do have Linda here with us this evening as well. And I know that she did make a couple of changes to that. We did request the addition of the generator at the town office building for the potential move of the EOC to that location. And was there any other changes that were made, Linda?
Not to the one that you approved when we presented it, when we made our presentation. The only change that was made was adding the generator. Jean did have an email today about the pole lighting, but that's something that we could take up afterwards. Or we could add it on if you want. I looked it up and
You sent that to us. It was like 17,000, wasn't it?
yeah, I was just gonna look here, $17,670 supposed to be done in 2022, according to the engineers. Now, we were going to, after the budget was done, back in October and November, when we talked to you, we were gonna have a meeting after the budget was done with our committee, with you, select board, just to go over all the 10,000 or more $10,000 or more items for the town, because there's like 58 of them.
Sure.
Of course, they're not all due at once. And we sent you, Tom sent you some on the ones he worked on. I sent you on the ones I worked on, a list that showed the need year and what they were in what department. So I don't know if you want to wait till then, or if you want to put the 17,670 in here. We only have what they say. We don't have any estimate from anywhere. Jean had an estimate or something from King Electric, but it was
Yeah, that's the lights.
that was just for the lights. It wasn't just for the poles and everything.
So we're
Yes, it
essentially
is.
looking at doing the same thing
For
that
the
happened at the,
poles.
Right.
It's the poles and the lights. And
Okay.
it's also local, which may be reflected in the price
Right. So
compared to somebody from in Burlington.
so this
our-
is essentially
our
the
committee
same
never got a
project.
bid. We never got any bid information. Jean has it. So I don't know whatever you want to do, we can always add it to we can always add it
I mean, how
to,
does that work if it didn't go out? Is that a project that needs to be bid?
Well, this came about because we were getting the lights replaced that weren't lighting. And they looked at the poles. Well, Dave Walker helped me get this done. And while they were there, he asked me, do you want them to look at the poles? Because these things are on their last legs. And I said, and get an estimate. And I said, sure. So, I mean, you don't have anywhere to start from. The 17,000 is huge. So I said, sure, what the heck? We'll get an estimate, see what it is. So it can definitely go out to bid in the future, but I guess my concern was I thought that some of these things that were the start year of 2021, that the capital plan committee was going to put them into the capital plan, but they didn't go in.
No, because when we asked about doing that, at the time, you were concerned about just the budget items and leaving everything frozen, not making any increases. And we asked you if you wanted us to do that. And our understanding was we were going to have this meeting afterwards.
Afterwards, what? After what?
To work on it next year. I mean, as the poles aren't falling down now,
Now,
except, you know, it's not like they're collapsing. They can be fixed next year, but
are those the same style lights that were at the recreation center that one did actually fall, which warranted us replacing all of them at the same time? I believe they're very similar. They're metal poles that rise up to the light. So, so the potential is there that we're in that same situation, a gust of wind away from that, taking out somebody's car or somebody else. I don't know if that's reasonable. I haven't looked at those. I'm just curious what the rest of the board's thoughts are on whether we want to add this into the capital plan this year to get that started.
I mean, the thing is, if you wait another year to put it in the plan and it's in the plan for a couple of years, you're talking 3 years down the road to be able to
I agree with you, Jean.
replace.
That's why I sent in my email. I looked up what they wanted, which they put for 17,000, just to give the board something to look at. But if you want to start with a figure, we can put in, well, I don't remember what your figure was that you had from King.
Well, it was $9,175. That price was going to hold for 7 days. And he did say that you can just anticipate the price is climbing,
Of
which is
course.
going to be real easy to get to 10 grand.
Well, I don't know. Do you want to put in like $12,000 just in case? Because we really don't know. I know we had one pole when I was working there with Tim. We had somebody drive into a pole and David had to replace the pole out by the library, I think it was.
It is, and it's, you know, there's quite a bit of rust on it, they said, when they
Yep.
did that. So,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, that seems safe. And then when the time comes, we may be able to get some kind of energy efficiency grant, but which would just allow us not to spend it all. But
Wendy, are you aware of any grants that may be out there right now that we could be looking at for this?
Not specifically for that, but I can look around. And conservation grants are one thing that you can get without needing to show a lot of need too.
yeah, the rec department did get a grant to help with their lighting.
And I was wondering, does anybody remember what that total bill was? There was a lot of lights up there.
Yeah, I want to say it was something like in the 20,000s.
That's what I thought. So that 30 or that 17,000 that, because we don't have that many around the town office, that seems excessive.
The pool lights are
6.
way taller than the town office.
Yeah, there's only 6 lights.
And I think there's more lights on the pool lights.
Yeah, so 17,000 to replace the town offices seems extremely high, given that we replaced a lot more up there for similar funds.
Yeah, and I mean, I wonder too, I mean, the engineers were from, I think, like the Burlington area, which is
Rutland, they're from Rutland.
Rutland.
They're from
So-
Rutland.
Yeah, so that's kind of a whole different market also.
Sure.
They also design things based on the way it should be done, not the way it's always done. Like theirs are probably written up as it's sleeved correctly and everything in case a car hits it. And the way
Right.
we have them installed around here are not to that standard.
That would add $6,000. So it's 6,000 this year and 6,000 next year. That's not going to raise it significantly, so it'd be $21,155. Do you want to approve that? 6 in this budget and 6 in next year.
Jeff, Sandy, thoughts? Jean, Michael, anybody?
Well, I just kind of felt like these things that were supposed to start for 21,
Yeah,
we need to start doing them because next thing they're gonna be all really piling up.
that's right.
That's why we asked for that meeting.
Sure. Now, are we able to, so Linda, we have that meeting with you in the very near future.
We don't have one scheduled. We didn't know
Right,
when you would be
I'm saying
finished with your
if
budget.
we schedule one in the near future, given the fact that the, when is this voted on? Is this voted on the March 2nd one, or is this way out in May? Do we have time
May.
to look at some of these things?
This is
May.
voted on in May.
Wendy, I see your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, I did want to explain, in a normal year, you would need to make the decision tonight because you need to approve the warning, but the warning that you're looking at tonight is just for the Australian ballot elections. And they do not include the budget. So you could amend the budget because the impact that this will have, the capital plan will have, is the amount to be raised by taxes would need to go into this year's budget.
I can give you, we already sent in November, we sent to the board and all the figures that Tom and I had figured out for
Right.
everybody to look at, so everybody could have seen what needed to be done and what year it needed to be done. And what I can do and send it to the board tomorrow is just pick out the things 21, 22, 21, 22 that are the next immediate 2 years, if you'd like me to, or do whatever you want. It's not hard to go and pick those out for each of the departments because we have for the town office, the highway garage, the recreation department, fire department, South School, general, North School building. We have all those figures already. We sent them to you, but we didn't hear anything back from anybody. And when we did talk to you back in October or November, you were worried about the cost of the budget and making sure everybody didn't raise the budget. And that's why we didn't add it. We would have easily added it. We had all the figures ready to go. So whenever you want to add them, I can give them to you and then you can let me know if you want them added, we can add them.
Well, I feel like that was the point of having these engineers here.
It was.
So I do believe we need to work on this, and I guess I just had thought that, that was happening. So it sounds like we have time to address this. So let's, make that a priority as soon as we can, maybe, and
I'll look at it tomorrow and I'll send you tomorrow a list of the things in the next 5 years that need to be done.
yeah.
That would be appreciated. And then we could look at the February 16th meeting possibly. And we don't have to make that decision tonight, but maybe even if we started at 6 o'clock and met with you guys and got all of that prepared before the regular meeting, I don't know if that would work. But.
That's fine for me.
Linda, I appreciate you remaining so fluid with us. I know it's been kind of hectic and all over the place as things have changed and we don't really know what we're doing from time to time. So,
Well, miscommunication happens and that's why they have erasers on pencils.
perfect. I like your outlook on that. Any further discussion on this?
No, my opinion is, let's do what we gotta do. And so I agree with Jean that it probably will end up being a priority, particularly if something happens like what happened with the rec center.
Michael, Sandy, anything else?
I'm with Jeff.
Okay.
I'd rather see us do it sooner than later.
All
Sure.
right.
Would
Linda,
you
thank
like,
you.
would you like me to send all of you the reports that Tom and I did that shows it by need year, by department?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Okay,
Please.
I'll send
Thank
those
you.
out tonight, so you'll all have them in your email. I'll put them
Great.
Excellent.
Thank you
right
very
after
much,
this
Linda.
meeting. Thank you. Goodbye.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right, back to the discussion, consideration of warning and schedule for town meeting. Whoever wants to pick that up, go right ahead.
Tell you what, I will have Wendy start and then I'll bat cleanup tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Okay, and what I would like to do, if it's okay, is share my screen, share the warning
Okay.
and go over it. Okay, does this look like the warning that you
Yes.
had previous or most recently? Because I sent 2 versions out today. So what's different this year, obviously, is COVID. And what we've done is to break the town meeting into 2 separate sub-meetings. Together, they make town meeting. So the first meeting, I've just called it the election meeting. So I just called this the election warning. You'll do a second warning for the meeting that will be sometime in May. The attorney did review this. So if you are inclined to adopt this, it is ready to go. Let me see what to point out what's different. The second paragraph is different than you've seen before. The third paragraph is where we talk about recessing the annual meeting until it's safe to meet in person and in compliance with COVID-19. And we state that the goal is to have the meeting in person the week of May 10th. We don't know the exact date yet. Tim's working on that. And then a formal warning will be produced with the location, the date, and the time within the 30 to 40 day time frame. So then the Article 1 is the election, the town officers elections, and those are the folks who responded by the deadline today. And then Article 2 and Article 3 are the school board articles. The first is the officers, and the second is the budget that was adopted by the school board last night. So Tim?
Mr. Chairman, thank you again for the opportunity. I've got to say that this process in trying to figure out a meeting date and a place has had more twists and turns than a fan dancer at the Tunbridge Fair, if you catch my drift. Of late, we have had discussions with Emergency Management Director David Emery and Seth Dio from the Rec Department. We have had discussions with the School Board Chair Carrie Amadon, as well as discussions today, in fact, with Vernon Principal Mary Ross. She was nice enough to supply me with some occupancy information for both the gym and the school cafetorium. And we've posed the question based upon something that happened, I believe, at a 1993 Brattleboro Union High School annual district meeting, where there were too many people to fit in the gym, so the overflow crowd went into the auditorium. And the question that we've posed to the state is, if you have 2 separate rooms, can you do your occupancy limit for 2 rooms or just combine them for 1? And so we have yet to hear back about that. But there is rumor that the state may be raising its occupancy limits for the purpose of town meeting to the 50% levels that they've allowed for church services. Of course, it would be nice if they had said that tonight, but so far they have not. So I'm feeling in the interest of prudence and in the interest of safety, we really should aim for the second week in May for our town meeting. I feel good about the possibility of it being inside, but I don't know as yet because we can't go until they say so. I'll take any questions the board may have.
Tim,
Yes.
should the warning say, so the select board has agreed to conduct the remainder of the meeting the week of May 10th, 2021 at a location, should be at a date and location to be determined?
Yes, because among the questions are if we can use a portion of Vernon School, that ostensibly could be a night meeting. If we end up using rec department land, that may or may not be a night meeting, depending upon the ability to light whatever space we have. And of course, with lighting brings on noise from generators brought on by the light. So we want to try to continue to explore all the possibilities. I would hope that by the second meeting in March, we would have the info we need to give you a firm recommendation.
Okay, also, just for clarification, would it be possible to list like Catherine Baldwin, Ken Bloom, and Jeff Dunkley, list them instead of one under the other? Because running them together is a little confusing for some of us old people. I know they're three separate people, but some might be confused.
I think that we can do that. Wendy was doing the wordsmithing on that earlier, so I would think she could do that as well. I assure you that on the proposed ballot I have, they are listed from top to bottom, so that will not be an issue on the actual ballot.
And are you holding the poll 7 to 7 or 10?
Yes, we are. We're hoping that with the polls open 7 to 7, it would allow the crowd to spread out. And as soon as we get our ballots back from the printer, they have gone to the printer now. We are hoping to be able to begin mailing out ballots to people who want them. We're not going to force them down people's throats, but we figure that in the interest of social distancing, we'll spread out the polling hours and make sure that we don't have a big crowd at once.
Great, thank you.
Further discussion from the board or questions for Tim or Wendy?
Chris,
Yes.
can my name be corrected? It's misspelled on that, please.
We can take care
Oh,
of it.
no. Okay,
Oh,
sorry.
For God's sakes, Mary Lynn. If it's
Well-
not one thing, it's another with you.
And it's only Tuesday of this week.
Wait till Friday.
It's
I know.
usually Jeff complaining that his name's spelt wrong.
I just added.
It's Katrina's fault. Did you see what she gave me?
I did not.
Oh, well, you have to look on Facebook. She
Okay.
gave me a gift. So yeah, it's her fault.
All right. Any further discussion or action needed on that?
Mr. Chairman, I would hope that the board would at least give their endorsement to this, so we do have your direction to proceed, because you are the ones who set the date and time for the annual meeting.
Mr.
Understood.
Chairman, I move we approve and sign the warning as presented with the corrections.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Mr. Root. All those in favor, please say aye. Sandy,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Jean,
Aye.
Chris is an aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we need on the agenda is the approval to print the town report. However, we need to have the discussion about the select board report that was sent out today. It is lengthy. I understand that. Once I started typing, boy, it was hard to stop. I've put as much in there as I can. I think that a lot of that, I'm certainly open for corrections or changes. I do think a lot of this came with the intention on lifting up our employees and volunteers and making sure that they're acknowledged for all of the hard work that they've put in specifically over such a challenging year.
So my recommendation, this was really great. You did a great summary. But being that this is almost like a piece of history, because I experience this all the time with people looking at old town reports. There's a lot of inferences as to why we're in the situation we're in, but I think we need to clearly state that we're having a COVID-19 pandemic.
Definitely.
Okay, so I will work that into that first paragraph.
Yeah, because I thought if the ever-changing new norm as the COVID-19 pandemic descended on us, or something like that.
Okay. Any objection to that?
No.
Okay.
And even the next paragraph, the first sentence, when it talked about the town office building getting locked down and that, I don't think it would hurt to end that sentence again, saying due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It's just that when in a million moons from now, when people are reading back on this, it won't be super clear, maybe.
Sure.
Because maybe they didn't live this.
God, hopefully they didn't. Okay. Further changes, suggestions? What was the company that did the capital needs assessment? That was one thing I had left out because I couldn't find it right off hand
Okay.
here.
I can give you that name.
Okay.
Lancet. So LANCETTE and Dudka, DUDKA.
I'm sorry, my internet glitched for a second there. I got D, that's as far as I got.
DUDKA. Criterium Engineers.
Okay. And then I spelt forest wrong. I will underline that now. Thank you, Sandy.
How about a new paragraph when, let's see, in the fourth paragraph, you start with on the way to Cindy's office. How about a new paragraph with turn around and walk across the lobby?
Yep, I wasn't sure about that. Okay.
Okay.
I know I spelt Mary Lynn's name right because I got it right out of the town report on this one, so.
So in the second paragraph, kind of 2/3 of the way down the sentence, through all of that, Tim managed to secure a grant that would allow all town maps and records to be uploaded electronically, as well as create a town website. To me, that makes it sound like Tim created the website, whereas it's relating to the grant, right? So I think it just, instead of as well as, just put and the creation of a town website, because that would reference the grant. Because we don't really actually have the website yet.
Okay.
Okay, so the second page, the second paragraph, when you're talking about the highway department, during the winter months, they are often working while the rest of us sleep. Period. Other times they may be directing traffic at the emergency scene, blah, 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 blah. I think that.
Yep.
Yeah, would be due for
Okay.
And then the next paragraph, I would say just put down COVID, put 19 pandemic.
Okay.
And oh, the last paragraph, this is hard to, about midway. The select board also implemented a fire department advisory committee, period. Their main objective was to establish a department from the ground up.
Okay.
Or just a different word if you want to keep that one sentence, I think.
No, that's fine.
It just seemed like they didn't mesh good.
Sure. By the time I was done writing this, I was so sick of going back and rereading that I kind of gave up and sent it to you all.
Well, you know, I always like somebody else to look at what I've written because
Yeah.
in your mind, you know what you want to say. And, you know, and sometimes
Yep.
the words aren't really there.
Wendy understands that well.
Sandy, did you have anything else? Or-
Yeah, I noticed that we recognized Rita's resignation, which was great, but if we, and I don't mind, because of Patty, by the way, her name was spelled, it's a capital D, was our state rep. But if you're going to recognize Rita, you're going to have to recognize a lot of the other ones. We lost, you know, like the solid waste committee.
Right, we didn't, there's no mention of any of, I was trying to stay away from that dumpster fire the best that I possibly could.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm thinking if you took that, sent that out,
Okay,
the capital plan receiving the resignation. You know,
Because maybe if the capital, if these different committees wrote a report, they can address that themselves.
they should address that themselves.
okay. Are we feeling the same way about the Patty being mentioned in there?
I'm not because of all that she did.
Okay,
And that's my personal opinion. I think you did an awesome job, Chris.
Yeah, this is really good.
I don't
Thank
care
you.
what your father says.
I don't either, never have.
I know. But I have in the past.
Any other changes? If not, I will make the corrections to that either this evening or first thing tomorrow, and I will ship that over to Wendy. And if there is no other corrections to that, I would be looking for a motion to approve to print the town report.
Chris,
Yes,
I think you did a fine job. It was very gracious of you to recognize a lot of people in town. It's usually not incorporated into a select board report, but I think it's particularly important this year. I did have one small correction.
okay,
I don't have it in front of me, but I think it might be in the second paragraph or somewhere. It was in reference to Tim about the word maybe. I think you need to split that into may
Yep,
be.
I see it right there. Tim may be the first face. I see it right there.
That's really the only picky correction that I can offer.
Yep,
But otherwise, very fine job, Chris.
thank you.
Yep.
Barring any further discussion, I'm looking for a motion, please.
I move that we approve your report and approve the to print the town report.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Mr. Dunkley. All those in favor, please say aye. Sandy?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Jean?
Aye.
And Chris is an aye. Last on the agenda was the addition to allow the use of the town office property. We have received a letter that I sent around to everybody. We do have the Everybody Eats program now in Vernon. Anybody that does not know what Everybody Eats is, it's a grant-funded program that pays restaurants to provide meals for communities. So this was really developed because the restaurant industry took such a hard hit. How do we keep them operational? How do we keep their staff employed? And how do we help our communities at the same time? So this program started, and I believe that it actually started in Brattleboro. I could be wrong with that. And it has evolved to, yep, I'm getting a thumbs up from Tim. And now it is all over the state, and it is proving to be very successful. It's helping restaurants, it's helping their employees, and it's helping the communities as a whole. So I would like to remove the stigma that this is for poor people or any of that. This is for everybody. It doesn't matter your financial situation. This is really to help everybody and to bring some takeout food into your home, experience different things, get to know these local restaurants so that when we can go and visit them in person, we know what to expect from them. So they are currently using, Shelley Harvey is currently using the fire department. However, that's kind of infringing on the training that they're doing there. So they're able to use it, but they have to be out of there by 5:30, and they would really like to be able to extend this pickup time from 4:30 to 6 so that they're accommodating more people. So she has asked if they could use the town office building parking lot to do this. There's no need for anybody to be inside or have access to the building. This is completely drive-through. The only thought or concern that I have, maybe not concern, the only thought that I have is given the traffic jam that we experienced at Miller Farm, and I find it funny that I get to say traffic jam in Vernon, but given that, I think that we should set some type of a guideline on how we want them to enter and exit that and where the vehicle should be lining up. And I think that that needs to be on the Governor Hunt side so that we're not infringing on the Fort Bridgman side. So this is also going to need, however, if we choose to make a motion, the motion will also have to involve Burroughs Road to some extent as well.
What's the possibility about having our constable there to direct traffic?
I would venture to guess that his work schedule is going to prohibit him from that. I know that that was an issue with fire department training.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I think it's an awesome program, and I move that we allow Everybody Eats program to utilize the town office building parking lot, entering and exiting via Governor Hunt Road and Burroughs Road.
Yeah, so I guess,
Not a one-way parking lot.
It's supposed to be.
yeah.
We gotta make sure we maintain that.
Yeah, so they should come in
Yeah.
Governor Hunt, come on to Burroughs Road and
Around
go
the
to
front of the building.
further entrance to the parking lot.
So the front side of the building.
Well, that's the back.
42 side.
Well, okay, yep, sorry.
That is actually the back.
So the back side of the building, we want them to come from Governor Hunt Road down Burroughs Road into the back parking lot and come back out onto Governor Hunt.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So we do have a motion by Ms. Harris. Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded by Mr. Dunkley. All those in favor, Sandy,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Jean,
Aye.
Chris is an aye.
So I noticed that she actually put a map with her Facebook post, so that would probably be helpful to do that again to get this going.
Sure, I'll reach out to her as soon as we are done here this evening. And I said that that was the last thing on the agenda. I apologize. We did agree that we would have a discussion with Mary Lynn. I believe that's why you're joining us this evening.
She's muted for a change, but it is yes.
Oh,
I didn't say that.
I couldn't help it.
I just, for the record, that was not me.
Oh,
okay. I saw that. Everybody see that Facebook picture of Sandy?
all right, but
It was quite cute.
very funny.
I remember that.
Me too,
Anyway,
believe it or not.
anyway. Yes,
I was told that we needed to discuss some sand here. What's up?
lack of.
Okay, can I ask you what the contract that those people sign actually reads? Because it's my understanding that that contract states that they will supply their own sand.
No, it does not.
Okay,
The
so
contract
go ahead.
with our contractors, no, it does not say they will supply their sand.
Okay,
No.
do you have a copy of that somewhere so that we
I-
can, I don't know what to do anymore, Mary Lynn. Three weeks of arguing over a pile of dirt is
I-
insane.
It is. And, you know, I called yesterday. I thought the agreement was to make arrangements ahead of time.
Yep,
I called yesterday. Oh, we don't know what the weather's doing yet. We're just supposed to get a dusting. Check tomorrow. I called around, maybe it was 1:30 today. Wait, well, we still don't know what's going to happen. I can call you tomorrow. The trucks went by, it wasn't that much long after that when a truck went by the shop. The trucks just went down by my house. So if they're out on the road, and depending upon how the storm is going, and we have people out plowing, again, how is anyone going to get sand? I mean, if we had a place to put it where we could keep it covered, then that's, you know, what we do. I mean, I thought over the years I've thought about that, but I have nowhere to put it and then to keep it covered and then to load it. I mean, but that's probably the least of the worry part of it.
God.
You know, I mean,
So Mary Lynn, is there none up in the, where people go to fill their buckets? Are you saying there's none up there, or were there sanders that needed to get filled?
the Sanders needed to get filled. They can't fill it from where it is up at the old
Right.
garage up there. You
Right.
can't get to it.
Right. Well, I don't understand that.
Till we see a contract, we just have to reach out to the town garage guy and ask him to do better with them. Than they, obviously something got confused where they did try to call and schedule and he's not working with it like we asked.
Right.
Oh, God.
You know, in my
Yes.
mind, the sand is going to Vernon residents.
Yeah.
So they're entitled just like any other resident.
Right.
What the people that are working for the elderly assistance, I mean, they need to get compensated for their time, their equipment. And that's what they're getting paid for, not for the sand.
Right. Right. And it's like he doesn't seem to understand, and I know he does, that what your driveway on Pond Road is not the same as the driveway on Tyler Hill or Franklin Road. They're not the same. So my driveway on Pond Road or Newton Road or Homestead Way may be perfectly fine. But if I live up on Tyler Hill, you know, and like we had that crap here the other week that turned into sludge and ice, it's totally different. And I know he has to understand that.
I'm at such an unbelievable loss for this. I know. Really am. We didn't argue as a town nearly this much over the closure of our fire department. That's what's blowing my mind. Something as significant as that, we have not taken the personal attacks or the time to argue the way that we have over $875 worth of dirt. I think it's childish. I think that it needs to be put to bed. And I think that we need to move on from this discussion of sand. And it needs to happen in the near future. We have a select board meeting next Tuesday. It will be on the agenda. Could you please send me a copy of the contract so that we can review that? And we will finalize this next Tuesday.
Got it.
Thank you. Mary Lynn, please know that that is in no way directed towards you. This is, it's just gone on long enough.
Yeah.
So we'll get to the bottom of it. We'll figure it out next week. And we'll be on to the next big Vernon exciting news, I'm sure. So, so yeah, if you could just get us a copy of that, we'll look at it. And after I see that, if I need to, I will go down and talk with David.
All right. Thank you.
Wendy, I see your hand.
Yeah, just I'd like to just touch base with you quickly on it because I know he's the highway superintendent would like me to come up with a liability release, and the first one he didn't like. So I think it would. Well, I think it would make sense to make that part of the contract. So
each one of these guys has to have commercial insurance that is, I don't know, $100,000 or some such.
Yeah.
Figure.
Well, he was concerned with them being on town property and using the town equipment to load the trucks, but
they're not using it. He is.
Right. He's concerned about damage to their sanding equipment or trucks, but I think a quick way to solve it might be to just add a couple sentences onto the contract that they already have with the town. So if you could just loop me into those conversations, we might be able to solve that more quickly than coming up with a completely new document.
Thank you, Wendy.
Okay.
All right. Mary Lynn, is there anything else that you'd like to add to this or anything else that we should be aware of as we prepare for that discussion next Tuesday?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not aware.
All right. So just shoot that over to me and we'll get this rolling the best that we can.
All right. I will do that
Marilyn,
tomorrow.
I guess I got one question.
Yes.
As far as like the time frame. So you indicated that you called this afternoon to basically try to procure sand.
Well, I started yesterday.
You did? Okay. All right.
Right.
That's kind of what I wanted to know is
Yeah.
how far in advance. I think it's a little surprising how much snow we've had, but we did know it was coming.
Right. I started yesterday and was
Okay.
told we're just getting a dusting. It's not going to do anything. And then today when I called,
Mhm.
it was, we don't even know what's going to happen yet.
No. By today, I think we should know.
But my kind of thought was, so you put sand in a truck and we don't get that much. It just sits there and another storm's going to happen here. But
So, I mean, do you think one of the issues is, well, we don't know what's going to happen. I'm just questioning, is the idea, well, we need to reserve sand for use on the roads because we don't know how much we're going to use? Or, I mean, there's a big pile of sand there, right?
yeah, it's a huge pile of sand.
We're not going to run out tonight.
No,
Okay.
no.
Marilyn, do you know how much sand elderly assistance uses a year?
Not off the top of my head, I think. I don't know. I'd have to figure that out, but I probably can.
Just curious. Thank you.
I'll see if I can.
Depending on the weather.
Yeah, depending upon the weather, but
Ballpark.
This would be the first year that we've offered to fill the commercial sanders for anybody. So David's math is that, and I don't remember what the yardage is that he puts up there, maybe 30 yards. I don't remember off the top of my head.
that's an awful lot, but
Over the, well, it was $875 worth of sand based on David's prices for this year that is placed up there for the residents to take. So $900 worth of dirt. So, I mean, I can't imagine that we're going any higher than that if he loads it or if they shovel it in. I mean, it's the same amount of sand. It just-
right.
this is-
And not all the $900 that he puts up across the road is going to elderly assistance.
Correct.
So,
All right, we will get to the bottom of this next week. Wendy, when we send that out, can we please invite Mr. Walker to the meeting next Tuesday?
Yes, certainly.
And I just texted Shelley to let her know that she was approved so she could start planning. She said that that is terrific news because this evening, well, where did it go? This evening, they served 101 meals. So when
Wow.
she sent this on Sunday, they
Great.
were at 46 meals and we have surpassed the 100 mark. So
Great.
wow.
that's
Awesome.
fantastic that many people are utilizing this.
And they'll all use the restaurants afterwards.
They
That's-
should.
That's the hope. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I will make corrections to that report. We will get some information on dirt for next Tuesday. And our next regular meeting is Tuesday, February 2nd at 6:30. With that, I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.